libère-nous de toute ignorance, libère-nous de nous-mêmes, afin que nous ouvrions toutes grandes les portes de ta glorieuse manifestation. Lord, become the sovereign master of our lives and dispel all the darkness which can still prevent us from seeing and constantly communing with Thee. Liberate us from all ignorance, liberate us from ourselves, that we may open wide the doors of Thy glorious manifestation.
अग्निर्यथैको भुवनमप्रविष्टो रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बभूव एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो वहिश्च वायुर्यथैको भुवनमप्रविष्टो रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बभूव एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो वहिश्च य एष सुप्तेषु जागरति कामं पुरुषो निर्णिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतममुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाः श्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद् वै तत् एतद् वै तत् एतद् वै तत्
दशवक्त्रा दशभुजा दशपादाञ्जनप्रभा विशालया राजमाना त्रिंशल्लोचनमालया स्फुरद्दशनद्रंष्ट्रा सा भीमरूपापि भूमिप रूपसौभाग्यकान्तीनां सा प्रतिष्ठा महश्रिया एषा सा वैष्णवी माया महाकाली दुरत्यया आराधिता वशीकुर्यात् पूजा कर्तुश्चराचर सर्वदेव शरीरेभ्यो याभिर्भूताहमितप्रभा त्रिगुणा सा महालक्ष्मीः साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी साक्षान् महिषमर्दिनी
पुष्पे एतद्धिपतये देवाय ॐ श्री दुर्गायै नमः श्री मीरायै नमः ॐ श्री मीरायै नमः
ॐ कमलोत्पलधारिण्या शक्त्या लिङ्गितविग्रहं स्मेराननं सुप्रसन्नं साधकाभीष्टदायकम् ॐ गुरुभ्यो नमः ॐ परमगुरुभ्यो नमः तेषु यर्घः ॐ श्री अरविन्दाय नमः
ईश्वरः ॐ श्री अरविन्दाय नमः श्री अरविन्दाय नमः पृथ्वीरेणुरनुः पयांसि गणिका फल्गुः स्फुलिङ्गो लघुस्तेजो निःश्वासनं मरुतु तनुतरामरन्ध्रं सुसूक्ष्मं नभः क्षुद्रारुद्रपितामहप्रभृतयः कीटाः समस्ताः सुराः दृष्टा यत्र सा तारको विजयते श्रीपादधूलीकणः
या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोराः पापकाशिनी
तस्मत्तमेव मम शरणम्
कया नस्तनुवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिजातशीः
तस्मत्तमेव शरणम्
ततः परं ब्रह्म परं बृहन्तम यथा निकायं सर्वभूतेषु गूढम्
तस्मत्तमेव शरणम्
ॐ विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारमेश तं ज्ञात्वाहमितां भवन्ति वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवह्निनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे वरदं वन्दे शिवं वन्दे श्री अरविन्दम्
तस्मत्तमेव मम शरणम् तस्मत्तमेव मम शरणम् मीरा मम शरणम्
Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says the most important is a steady, quiet endurance that does not allow any upsetting or depression to interfere with your progress. The sincerity of the aspiration is the assurance of the victory. With my love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Divine Mother taken from the question and answers of 1929-1931, date 14th April 1929, page 4. Question. Sweet Mother, what are the dangers of integral yoga? For this, our Divine Mother says, integral yoga is not more dangerous to the people of the West than to those of the East. Everything depends upon the spirit with which you approach it. Integral yoga becomes dangerous if you want it for your own sake to serve a personal end. It is not dangerous, on the contrary, it is safety, security itself. If you go to it with a sense of its sacredness, always remembering that the aim is to find the divine. Our Divine Mother says, dangers and difficulties come when people take up the yoga not for the sake of the divine, but because they want to acquire power and under the guise of yoga seek to satisfy some ambition. If you cannot get rid of ambition, do not touch the thing. It is fire that burns. Our Divine Mother says there are two parts of yoga. One is tapasya, a discipline, and the other of surrender. The path of tapasya is arduous. Here, you rely solely upon yourself. You proceed by your own strength. You ascend and achieve according to the measure of your force. There is always the danger of falling down. And once you fall, you lie broken in the abyss, and there is hardly a remedy. Our Divine Mother says the other path, the path of surrender, is safe and secure and sure. It is here, however, that the Western people find their difficulty. They have been taught to fear and avoid all that threatens their personal independence. They have imbibed with their mother's milk the sense of individuality, and surrender means giving up all that. In other words, you may follow, as Ramakrishna says, either the path of the baby monkey or that of the baby cat. The baby monkey holds to its mother in order to be carried about it, and it must hold firm. Otherwise, if it loses its grip, it falls. On the other hand, the baby cat does not hold to its mother, but it is held by the mother and has no fear nor responsibility. It has nothing to do but to let the mother hold it and cry, Ma, Ma. Our Divine Mother says, if you take this path of surrender, fully and sincerely, there is no more danger or seriously difficulty. If you take this path of surrender fully and sincerely, there is no more danger or serious difficulty. The question is to be sincere. If you are not sincere, do not begin integral yoga. If you were dealing in human affairs, then you could resort to deception. But in dealing with the divine, there is no possibility of deception anywhere. You can go on the path safely when you are candid and open to the core, and when your only end is to realize and attain the divine and to be moved by the divine. Our Divine Mother says there is another danger. It is in connection with the sex impulses. Yoga, in its process of purification, will lay bare and throw up all hidden impulses and desires in you. You must learn not to hide things nor leave them aside. You have to face them, conquer, and remount them. Our Divine Mother says the first effect of integral yoga, however, is to take up the mental control, and the hunger that lie dormant are suddenly set free. They rush up and invade the being. So long as this mental control has not been replaced by the divine control, there is a period of transition. There is a period of transition when your sincerity and surrender will be put to the test. The strength of such impulses are as those of the sex lies usually in the fact that people take too much notice of them, they protest vehemently and endeavor to control them, hold them within and sit upon it. But the more you think of a thing, I do not want it, the more you are bound to it. What you should do is to keep the thing away from you, to disassociate from it, take a little notice of it as possible. Even if you happen to think of it, remain indifferent and unconcerned. Our Divine Mother says the impulses and the desires that come up by the presence of integral yoga should be faced in a spirit of detachment and serenity as something foreign to yourself or belonging to the outside world. They should be offered to the divine so that the divine may take them up and transmute them. Our Divine Mother says, if you have once opened yourself to the divine, if the power of the divine has once come down into you, and yet you try to keep to the old forces, you prepare troubles and difficulties and dangers for yourself. You must be vigilant and see that you do not use the divine as a cloak for the satisfaction of your desires. There are many self appointed masters who do nothing but that. And then, when you are off the straight path, when you have a little knowledge, not much power, it happens that you are seized by beings or entities of a certain type. You become blind instruments in their hands and are devoured by them in the end. Whenever, wherever there is a pretense, there is danger. You cannot deceive God. Do you come to God saying, I want union with you? And in your heart, meaning, I want powers and enjoyments? Be aware. You are heading straight towards the brink of the precipice. And yet, it is so easy to avoid all catastrophe. Become like a child. Give yourself up to the Mother, our Divine Mother. Let her carry you, and there is no more danger for you. This does not mean that you have not to face other kinds of difficulties or that you have not to fight and conquer any obstacles at all. Surrender does not ensure a smooth and unruffled and continuous progression. The reason is that your being is not yet one, nor your surrender absolute and complete. Only a part of you surrenders, and today it is one part, and next day it is another. The whole purpose of the integral yoga, is to gather all the divergent parts together and forge them into an undivided unity. Till then, you cannot hope to be without difficulties. Difficulties, for example, like doubt or depression or hesitation. The whole world is full of the poison. You take it in with every breath. If you exchange a few words with an undesirable man, or even if such a man merely passes by you, you may catch the contagion from him. It is sufficient for you to come near a place where there is a plague in order to be infected with its poison. You need not know at all that it is there. You can lose in a few minutes what it has taken you months to gain. So long as you belong to humanity, so long as you lead the ordinary life, it doesn't matter much if you mix with people of the world. But if you want the divine life, you have to be exceedingly careful about your company and your environment, says our Divine Mother. Next question on page 21. Sweet mother, you see the sea and you can jump straight into it. But how are you to jump into the spiritual life? For this, our Divine Mother smiles and says, of course, you must have had some glimpse of the divine reality, as you must see the sea and know something of it before you can jump into it. That glimpse is usually the awakening of the psychic consciousness. That glimpse is usually the awakening of the psychic consciousness. But some realization you must have a strong vital, mental, if not a deep psychic or integral contact. You must have felt strongly the divine presence in or about you. You must have felt the breath of the divine world. And you must have felt too, as a suffocating pressure, the opposite breath of the ordinary world, drawing you to an endeavor to come out of that oppressive atmosphere. If you have that, then you have only to seek refuge unreservedly in the divine reality and live in its help and protection, in it alone. What you may have done in the course of your ordinary life, only partially or in some parts of your being, or at times and on occasions, you must do completely and for good. That is the plunge you have to take. That is the plunge you have to take. Unless you do it, you may do integral yoga for years and yet nothing of a true spiritual living. Take the whole and entire plunge, and you will be free from this outer confusion and get the true experience of the spiritual life, says our Divine Mother.